In this lecture, we will introduce common table expression, or CTE. The common table expression is a very useful and powerful feature of SQL Server. It's commonly used in the real world when we do data work. The syntax of common table expression is listed here. It's the first clause of the select statement. Let's look at some code examples of common table expression. We are going to use AdventureWorks 2008 R2 database in this lecture, but the code will work with newer versions of the AdventureWorks database as well. Generally speaking, in a SQL statement, we could use either a subquery or a common table expression to accomplish the same tasks. Let's look at an example of each. In the first example, we use this subquery to create a virtual table. We give the virtual table a name, plot. Once the virtual table is created, we select all of the columns from the virtual table. Next, we will use a common table expression to accomplish the same thing. We use the keyword with to define a common table expression. Give it a name. In our example, it's plot. The definition or the body of the common table expression follows AS. In the definition of the common table expression, we select several columns from the product table. Once the common table expression is defined, we select all of the columns from the common table expression. A common table expression creates a virtual table as well. There are differences between subqueries and common table expressions. We will look at a huge difference between them next. In the next two examples, we want to calculate the average list price. Then we want to use the average multiple times in a SQL statement. In the first example, we will use a subquery to calculate the average list price. We use this subquery to calculate the average. We give the average an alias or a name, AVG, PRICE. When we use a subquery to calculate the average, then wherever the average is needed, the subquery needs to be defined. We can see the identical subquery is defined 3 times in this example. By using a subquery in this scenario, our code may look tedious. Now, let's look at the common table expression counterpart. With this common table expression example, we calculate the average only once in the definition of the common table expression. Then the average is used multiple times in the SQL statement in which it's defined. Let's take a close look at this example. We use the keyword with to define the common table expression, give it a name, AP. The definition of the common table expression is listed after AS. In the definition of the common table expression, we calculate the average list price. We give the average an alias or a name, AVG, PRICE. This name becomes the column name of the virtual table created by the common table expression. Once the average is calculated, it could be used multiple times in the same SQL statement, but we define the common table expression only once. We calculate the average only once. By using a common table expression in this scenario, our code is a lot more streamlined. Our code could be more efficient as well. In this example, we also do a cross-join. Cross-join is not used very often in the real world, but in this example, it's a handy way to relate the average to all of the products. We do a cross-join between the virtual table created by the common table expression and the product table. In the last example, we use a common table expression to calculate the number of products included in an order. We also use the having clause to filter out the orders we want. By using this common table expression, we could create a much smaller data set before we join the data set to the sales order header table to get the report we want. In other words, by using a common table expression in this example, the data involved in a join is much less, then the join could perform much better. This concludes the lecture on Introduction to Common Table Expression.